Hello beer tubers and welcome to another blind tasting with me, Peter, the master of hobbits. Today, battling and blind tasting three very famous Japanese lagers. Pretty much the only three we get in Denmark. But these are all not brewed in Japan. These are all brewed under contract throughout Europe. So we got Kirin Ichiban, we got Asahi Super Dry, and we got Sapporo Premium. So I know there's a lot of different beers from these brands. I've always said myself that Kirin has been my favorite. I've actually thoroughly enjoyed Kirin. I have an affinity sometimes for these lighter lager beers, especially when you pair it with the cuisine from where they're from. Like, sometimes that just works. Case in point, the Cass video I recently did where I had tteokbokki with it. Like, after this blind tasting, I'm going to pair this with my homemade sukiyaki. I'm going to be making that afterwards. Everything is prepped and ready to go. And then we're going to try and pair this with sukiyaki. I'm sure it's going to be good. I mean, beers like this are great with like ramen and stuff like that. So although they're macro beers, but let's see which one is my favorite. I thought about actually also including the sukiyaki, but it's going to be too much chaos. The kits and everything. Maybe I'll shoot something with my phone when I'm sitting out there. Let's see. But we got these three beers, as I said. Kirin Ichiban, which is brewed in Germany. This is 5%. I think, I'm not sure if it's still the same, but Weinstefaner used to brew this for them, and it says it's the finest beer because they only use the first press, and that speaks to their production method. I'm guessing the first running of wort. Ichiban is Japanese for first, number one, and best. So that's 5%. Asahi Karakuchi Super Dry says brewed with precision to very high quality standards under the supervision of Japanese master brewers. Our advanced brewing technique deliver a dry, crisp taste and a quick, clean finish. We call it Karakuchi taste. So this one is also 5%. And the final beer, Sapporo, is 4.7%. It says discover the perfectly balanced taste that's irresistible to all as you share rich moments with this masterpiece of the brewer's art. So yeah, this was brewed in Germany. This one is brewed in Italy, and this is brewed in Ireland. So this is brewed by Diageo, a big company. I think this is Weinstefan, and I don't know who in Italy brews this. Peroni. Who owns Peroni? That's Heineken, isn't it? So yeah, this should be interesting. So let's crack on. Let's just start with the beer that's nearest, the one that's scaring me a bit, because all the others are very pin bright golden yellow, and this has a copper hue. And I'm thinking, could I have an oxidized bottle? Because I just bought these at like an Asian shop. Where they had them on the shelves. So I have no idea really about dates or anything on these beers. So let's see here, get the aroma. Not too much head, but they've also been standing for a bit. Yeah, this one's definitely oxidized. It's got butterscotchy notes, which is not too nice in a beer like this. Buttery, sweet cereal notes. Slightly papery. It's interesting. You could spot it from a mile away because usually these beers are super pale, and this just had a little bit more dark color. It's definitely not rich malt, but let's try it. Cheers. Yeah, it's definitely got some butterscotchy notes. Very fluffy though. Good mouthfeel for a lower strength beer. Slightly metallic taste to it as well. This is not in good condition. Sometimes you have these beers and you think they're not great, and that's often due to poor storage. Like if you go to, and that's the case for any beer, if you go to the source and drink it, that will always be the best experience, or at least really fresh bottles or cans. Slightly cardboardy, slightly metallic. There is a slight hoppy, sippy thing, slightly buttery. But underneath there's some of that like crisp maltiness, maybe a slight grassiness. Decent bitterness though, which is nice. Yeah, too bad. Let's move on to the next one then. So this looks more like what I think of when I think of these beers. Yeah, smells more bright, smells more sippy. So I think this one might be slightly light struck, and I can already then maybe guess what beer it is because of the bottle colors. So when light penetrates a beer bottle, sometimes there will happen a chemical reaction in the liquid, and that will cause an aroma compound to come forth from hops, which is similar to that of a skunk. So you call that a skunky flavor. If you ever had a beer standing out in the sun, you'll probably recognize it, especially in lighter lager beers. And for some beers, it's part of the flavor, and a flavor people like. Think Heineken. That's a great example because of the lime green bottles. But that's all over this beer, paired with just a little bit of a crisp maltiness. Not really hops in this. Let's try it. Also not in prime condition. Tastes much better though. Very carbonated, which is really nice. Very smooth, very crisp, crackery, like really clean. The skunkiness is not really there on the palate. It's maybe a bit more volatile on the aroma as well. Sometimes that skunkiness can also fade over time. I will drink that for sure. A few of it. It's similar a little bit in profile to the Kess actually that I recently had. So yeah, a decent bitterness without being too high. Crisp, fairly clean, crackery, malt backdrop there. Yeah, maybe even slightly citric. That's all right, apart from the aroma. Also the one with the tightest and nicest looking head. So let's check out this one. This is the exact same color as that. It is pale golden yellow, white head. Let's check out the aroma. More robust maltiness. This is the one that smells the freshest. And because there's no like any signs of age or light struck or anything, skunkiness. It's got a little bit of a honey malt note, sweet honey malt. Like a sweet cereal grain, maybe even a grassy floral note. But like these are so much milder compared to classic European lagers. If you think Czech lagers or German pilsners, Czech Světlý they're just so much more flavorsome and often more intense on bitterness and hop aromatics. But these beers are brewed to be like these super light, easy drinking, quaffable beers compared to some of the classic European counterparts. Ooh, much more hoppiness. Very hoppy, this one. This is the one that seems the most like a German Pilsner. This could be Kirin Ichiban. Definitely a nice floral, grassy hop profile. This seems more like a German Pilsner, just slightly industrialized compared to the others. It's crisp, it's crackery. It's not got the notes I associate with like light struck, or it's not got diacetyl or anything. It's super clean and crisp and something you could drink a lot of. Actually, not a half bad Japanese lager. Actually, the head is also very decent on this one once you swirl it around. The CO2 though is a little lower than this one. Like the effervescence of this seems so much more fine. This takes the cake instantly. That's for sure the best. Yeah. So I'm gonna guess now. Let's see if we're right. It's been a long time since I had Kirin Ichiban. I just remember being surprised that it was hoppy and clean and crisp and refreshing. So I'm guessing that this is Kirin Ichiban. I'm guessing that this is Asahi Super Dry. No, sorry. Yeah, Asahi Super Dry. I'm guessing this is Sapporo. So let's see. This is number 15. Boom. 15 and 15. Got that one right. This is number 14. Boom. Holy shit. 3 for 3. Holy crap, that's amazing. Especially considering what kind of beers they are, 3. But there was some giveaways here. So because Asahi had a little bit of a light struck flavor, I was thinking that must be Asahi because of the clear or the lime green bottle. And then, you know, that was just the odd one out, the last one. Okay, interesting. So this was actually also kind of how I thought of these beers in terms of preference. Kirin number 1, then Asahi, and then Sapporo. So that's pretty cool. In terms of grades, I think I'm going to score this one similar to Cass, maybe even higher. This is really nice, hoppy, easygoing lager. Nothing that is going to rock your world, but it's definitely not a bad beer. Like an 82, 83, maybe even an 85. This is not bad lager at all. And then usually when you get beers in beer competitions where there's flaws, you'll knock off some points, and that's for sure what we're going to do with these. But I think in Asahi Super Dry, it's kind of okay. It's not on the palate, it's more in the aromatics, and it drops out as you sit with it. So with that one, maybe a 75, 77, something like that. And then Sapporo. Oh, it smells so buttery. Yeah, that is the weakest of them. I wonder if it's the same in Japan. What am I going to score that? It's really, really buttery. I'm not going to flunk it completely because it's not so off that it's undrinkable. So it'll definitely pass, but it will be around maybe a 60 or a 55. It's going to be in that range. It's not like super nice to drink compared to the others. But it could just be because of this bottle, right? So, well, this is why this bottle is going to expire in like a couple of days. So, and usually beers like this gets a year shelf life. So that's why. And these, I guess, they're just fresher. Yeah, they're expiring in 25, all of them. So they have that benefit. But yeah, this was fun. And I fucking nailed it. Amazing. So if you guys had a chance to try either Kirin Ichiban, Asahi Super Dry, or Sapporo, let me know thought of them. Fun to battle these. And now we're going to go and pair this with some sukiyaki. But yeah, hope you guys enjoyed this blind tasting. And as always, remember to comment, subscribe, check out the Facebook fan page and Twitter and Instagram, and hit the bell for notifications about new videos. And I'm going to say cheers in my favorite, Kirin Ichiban. And see you guys in another beer review. Cheers.